Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about books that you can read in one sitting. I used to love doing this as a teenager. I'm really bad at it now, but I still manage to do it sometimes, like from time to time. Yeah, I'm not going to include here novellas because that's a little bit like cheating. I'm going to include here kind of full-length novels. Some of them are really short, but none of them are considered a novella. So I might have made this a little bit of a longer list. Maybe there are 50 books. Yep. So let's just get started. So I'm just going to start with the new favorite series of mine, the Cradle series by Will White. This is the first one, Unsold, and this is so cool. All the books are really short, actually under 400 pages, usually between the 200 and the 300 something mark. I have read the first two, loved them. I cannot wait to continue. I'm just like kind of trying to restrain myself because they are so short and I don't want to fly through the whole series in a week. So I have read both in one day. They're super fun, super cool adventures. In this one, we basically follow Lena, and when time comes for this ritual in his village, he discovers that he actually has no abilities like the rest of his people, and he is branded an Unsold, meaning that he will never be taught a path of magic. It's so cool, man. It's so cool. There are so many revelations at the end. It's amazing. I highly recommend this one. I love the first two. I know they are not perfect, but they are just like so fun, so easy to read. I just really like them. Well, I didn't grab it, but I will put a picture. The Body Snatchers by Jack Finney, I believe is the name. But I really like this super short, I think it's under 300 pages, sci-fi novel. I really liked it. I have always been intrigued to read the book because I have seen every single adaptation that's out there of the Body Snatchers. Basically, we're set in this really small town, and our main character has to realize that people are acting really weird. They kind of don't have emotions, and one day they basically discover that perhaps they are actually being substituted with clones. I just don't want to spoil everything, you know, let's call them clones. But this thing is so cool. I read this one on a flight. Basically, I went from here to Madrid and I basically read on the way. It's super easy to read. It's super thrillery, full of mystery. I really like this one. I should have included this one in my other video, damn it. But I really liked it, so I highly recommend it. Check it out. Then you have here Not Even Bones by Rebecca Schaffer. This is an urban fantasy series that is highly underrated, by the way. We basically follow Nita, and she really likes to cut people into pieces, basically. In this world, monsters are a thing. They're actually like in a list with the most dangerous up top, least dangerous, and there's actually a black market for monster parts, and Nina and her mother work for that. Basically, they collect the monsters, Nita cuts them down, and they basically sell the parts. Until one day, Nita is actually the one being captured and sold into the black market of monsters. It's just so cool. I need to read the final book yet, but the first two are great. This one for now is my favorite. One of the characters is so cool. This is super easy to read, super engaging also, and you know, it's just such a cool take on the urban fantasy trope, you know. I just really like this series. It's extremely underrated. So I highly recommend that you try it. Then we have one of my favorite books of this year. I'm thinking of ending things. What is this? I don't know yet. I still don't know after 2 months, but I still really like it. It's just so weird. It's such a weird book. It's basically about a couple going to visit his family, basically. Yeah, they're visiting the boyfriend's family. And things start getting weird. That's it. That's the whole summary of that book. It's such a weird introspection into your mind. Like, I was reading this in the middle of my exams, and the only thing that I could think about was finishing this book. I was just like, okay, I'm going to listen to a little bit now that I'm eating. And I was studying, I was just like, I just want to continue this, please. It's super short also. I really recommend it. It's weird, you know, you might hate it completely. It's such a polarizing book, but I get it. And the ending is fucking weird. It's fucking weird, but I just love books that mess up with your mind, and this definitely did. This definitely did. And don't watch the movie in Netflix. It's just really bad, actually. It's just such a bad adaptation also. Like, meh. But this one, dude, I just really need to get a physical copy of this book. Then I have here Confessions by Kanai Minato. I really like this thriller book. It's not exactly like a thriller, but it's the most cool thing about it is the way it's told. So we only have 5 POVs, and we start with the professor one. She's basically in her last day at school, and he's telling her class that she knows one of them killed her daughter, and that one is going to be fucking scared because she's going after him. It's just so cool, man. Then we have the president of the class, we have the killers, and we also have the mother of one of the killers. There are so many different emotions here. The ending was just like a slap in the face. I really liked it. I really want to continue reading these authors' other works. Penance, I think is the other one that I have in my kind of TBR. I'm not sure, but I'm really excited to continue, because this one was so good, and it's just super short. The concept of it is great. We have, you know, like grief and revenge, and, you know, some of them are actually sorry. It's just so cool. Then we have here Small Spaces by Catherine Arden. I fell in love with this middle grade series in January, I believe, or in February, who knows. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. In this first one, I think her name was Stevie. Am I making that up? I don't know. She is basically on a school trip to a kind of pumpkin farm, and it's Halloween, and the bus stops and they cannot go back home, and then some kind of pumpkin monster come after them, and it's basically this conspiracy with this smiley man. It's just so cool, and it's super creepy. Middle grades are so creepy. They get the creepy vibe so nicely. Like, you know, adult horror books are, you know, horror-y, but most of the time are not creepy. This one, just right in the mark of creepy. I really liked it. I wasn't hugely in love with the second one, but I cannot wait for the third one, actually, because I think it's going to be fucking great. But this first one, Small Spaces, was incredible. I highly recommend that you try it if you like horror, if you like middle grade, if you just like a fun adventure. Read this one. And you can read The Voices in winter, because it's super wintry and it's super cool. So then I have here Hold Back the Tide by Melinda Salisbury. I've said for the first time the name right at first try. Holy shit. What a miracle. This is such a weird story. So basically we start following this girl, and we discover in the first page that her father is a murderer. And she's just like, first rule for living with a murderer, second rule. And it's just super cool. There's a lot of like, not mystery, but it kind of feels claustrophobic at times, because she can kind of not leave the house. There's so many weird things going on here and there. And there's also a supernatural mystery here. You know, I'm just going to say it. There are bumpers in this book. Because that was, when I reached that point, I was just like, why did it take me so much time to read this fucking book? So yeah, I'm just going to say it. I really thought that it was like your usual mystery thriller, but no. It has mystery, it has fantasy, you know, and the ending is one of the hardest slap in the face endings that I've ever seen. This author just has such courage to do that at the end. Incredible. You know, I'm just hyping the ending so badly. It's just like, it's not something that you see often. It's really rare, or at least I have not seen it enough. Only one trilogy comes to mind with that twist at the end. But this was great. It reminded me so bad to 30 Days of Darkness? The one with the vampires in Alaska. That one. Gave me so much vibes like this one. It's more YA, but so much of those vibes, like, whoa. So then I have here The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. I have recently talked about this book, I think in my previous wrap-up. I really liked it. I read it in one sitting. It's basically kind of a twist in the clone trope. It's really cool. We basically follow this scientist, and really soon in the novel, we discovered that her husband, well, her ex-husband, has basically made a clone out of her, and he's going to marry her. And then, several pages later, we basically discover that the clone has killed the husband. And we go from there. It's just such a really cool concept, this book. It's not like, oh my god, like mystery assassinations. No, it has the right amount of plot twist. It's just super cool. I just really like Sarah Gailey's books. Like, the cool thing is usually the context, and there's like more human kind of what's human nature and that kind of question morally in front of you than just like the sci-fi or the supernatural element. Really like this one. I highly recommend it. It's just such an easy read. Like, you will fly through this. Then we have here Clown in a Cornfield. I just really like this fucking slasher book. I said it when I read it in October. I just really liked it. We basically follow this girl. She's new in town and she's going to this party and killer clowns appear. That's it. That's the whole synopsis. It's super easy. Didn't have like enough time of the everyday life, you know, that is always at the beginning of the books and movies, for me to get 100% invested, but I just really liked seeing teenagers get flashed into pieces, basically. It was such a fun ride. I just really like this one. It's like funny ride, you know? Horror, humor, super tropey, like laughing at tropes sometimes. It's just super fun. Super fun. Then this one, Obscura by Johart? I don't remember the name correctly, but this is a sci-fi book that I really like. I don't have my physical copy here because I wasn't thinking about rereading it, but now that I think about it, I really want to reread it actually. Thank God that I have it in my dad's house. In this book, we have like this kind of contagious Alzheimer's. I haven't said that right. No, I haven't. But basically people are losing their memory, and we're going to follow this doctor, and she's basically on her way to Mars because some of the soldiers that are stuck there are experiencing these same symptoms without being on Earth. So it doesn't make any sense that it's actually the disease, and they are trying to figure out what the hell is going on. It's a hugely novel that centers around being confined in a spaceship, horror elements, mystery elements. It's more mysterious than horror-y, but there's a good chunk. The ending was great. I really liked it. I really like this novel actually. I really like this one, and I think that I don't talk about this one a lot. Then we have a Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell, which is a book that I really believe that you can just read in one sitting because it's super fun. So we're going to follow Kellen here, and in his community, almost everyone has powers basically, and when they are 16, I believe, they have to take this kind of magical duel, and the problem is that Kellen actually doesn't have magic, and that's a big issue. So he is basically going to cheat his way through this duel, and he's going to meet a great character that I'm not going to spoil because she is fucking amazing. But it's super fun. If you're looking for a fun light read, you're going to love this. I just really want to continue with this series. The covers are incredible, by the way. And there's a prequel about this character coming out really soon that I cannot wait to read, actually. I'm just super excited. You know what? I had like 3 more books to talk about, but I'm just going to cut it here and I will do another video about this. And that's it. So, have you read any of these books before? And please, if you have any recommendations about books that are super easy to read and you will binge in a day, please let me know, because I'm always on the hunt for some of those, for just like he cozy Sunday, you know. But as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.